Convert any table to a whiteboard table, our 2-minute version. Start by spraying down your table and wiping it with a cloth, removing any tape or adhesive along the way. Remove any chairs or obstructions, and add a few drops of baby shampoo to your spray bottle. Both are included. Peel back the material about 6 inches and have a partner help peel the rest of the backing off. Mist the material with your baby shampoo water solution, and then with your partner, flip the material over and align it with the table. It might take 2 or 3 tries. Mist the board with your solution and squeegee it into place with parallel, overlapping strokes. If you find a bubble, peel the material back, mist the table underneath with your solution, and continue squeegeeing. By now, the other side might be too dry, so it's best to pull it back a little and add some more solution before you continue squeegeeing. Now, take some scissors and cut the excess scrap off. Don't worry, this isn't the final cut. Take the included utility knife and sink it in between the table and the rubber edging. Slowly and carefully walk all the way around the table to trim off the excess material. If you don't have a rubber edging, try to inset the cut about 1/8 of an inch and use your middle or ring finger as a guide as you pull the knife around the table. Finish by wiping the board off with your microfiber cloth and you're good to go. Today I'm going to show you how to install your ThinkBoard on a kidney table and on a school desk. So when you order from our website, you're either getting a small kit with a little spray bottle, small squeegee, and the material, or you're getting a resurfacing kit, which if you're doing a larger kidney table, you'll get the material and all the tools you need to install it. We also have an optional premium resurfacing kit, which comes with a larger spray bottle, some rubbing alcohol, a bigger scraper in case you're really needing to remove quite a bit of adhesive. From a table installation perspective, wouldn't probably recommend it, but a lot of times when we're resurfacing on chalkboards, they do have a lot of tape, glue, adhesive, hot glue buildup from the years, and a bigger scraper really helps with that. Same thing, the bigger spray bottle also helps when you're doing a pretty large surface. And if you're installing just on one table for yourself, for your classroom, this is really all you'll need. And so the first step of any resurfacing project with us, whether it's a table, a desk, or chalkboard/whiteboard, is to prep the surface. And so to do that, we've got microfiber cloths, we've got a little bit of water, and we've got a small metal scraper just to remove any goo or gunk. And so I'll start with the desk over here. Most of these standard desks measure about 24 inches wide. This one does as well. And so our material here is custom cut to be 23 inches by 12 inches. That way you can line it up right with the top of the pencil holder and create a whiteboard desk for your students. And so, like I said, step one of any resurfacing project with us is to clean off your surface. I've got a little bit of a sticker bunny here, just going to get under that so I can remove it. Put it over here. A little bit of tape here as well. And I'm just going to feel around just to make sure everything is nice and smooth. Definitely don't want to damage the desk, but the smoother the surface, the better. And so I'm going to mist my cloth a little as well. Wiping down one more time, tiny bit more adhesive up there, and we should be good to go. So for the school desk installation, it's a pretty straightforward process. Essentially, you remove the ThinkBoard from its backing. And you can do this solo or you can do it with a partner. I actually like to keep it on the table so I can make sure it stays put, and you can touch in the middle, that's okay. I'll get rid of this paper over here. And you can next take your spray bottle, mist the back of the ThinkBoard a bit, mist your table, and then line it up, and because we misted it, we can shift it around a bit as needed. And I'm gonna line that up, and you'll see that it kind of just sets into place. I like to spray over top as well, just because it helps the squeegee glide. Not necessary at all. And then we normally start with what we call the cross method. And so we go up and down in the middle, and then we go one push to the side, one push to the other side. And from this point on, the material is set and it's not going anywhere. And so you can make, 4 to 6 inch squeegee strokes horizontally going to one side and then the other. And you want to be methodical about this so you're not overlapping in crazy ways and creating air pockets. You just want to go nice horizontal strokes to one direction, and then overlapping horizontal strokes in the other direction. And so just like that, we've got a brand new whiteboard desk. And ta-da! So that we sell in a 2-pack as a starter kit if you're interested in getting that just to try it out. We also have a 25-pack and a 30-pack. And so now that we've handled that, we'll get to the bigger, more exciting install, which requires a little bit more work and definitely requires a helper. And so for this installation, before ordering from us, double check your measurements and make sure that the product you're ordering is the proper size. This kidney table here is pretty much exactly 48 inches by 72 inches. And so if you order that from our website, we will end up giving you a few inches longer than you need, just so there's a little bit of wiggle room. The 48 inches will be standard, but the 72 will throw on a couple extra inches for you. And so I've got the squeegee, it's a bigger squeegee just because, a knife that you can sink into the rubber edging here. And if you don't have a rubber edge, you can carefully trace or use a ruler. Smaller squeegees for that install. You got the scraper. Scissors, we don't really use them when we're installing, but if it's helpful, if you want to cut it down even smaller, if one of the stock sizes on our website is a lot larger than what you're offering, or if you just want to cut it in half and install on 2 smaller tables, you can definitely cut the material. It's very easy to do. And so I'm going to start by prepping this surface and cleaning it a bit. Again, with the microfiber cloth and a little bit of spray. A bigger spray bottle just because it's a bigger surface. And again, I'll get some on the cloth. And anytime you come across a bit of adhesive or gunk, just make sure to scrape it a little bit. All right, so once that's done, move some of the chairs out of your way so they are not in your way as you're installing. And then next what we're going to do is we're going to add a bit of the baby shampoo included into a spray bottle here. The reason for that is it lubricates the adhesive a little bit. And just like you saw over here, we could slide the ThinkBoard around. The baby shampoo allows you to slide it even more, which makes the installation process even more forgiving. So we like to add about 10 drops or a couple small squeezes. And then shake it up a little bit. And so I'll mist the surface when we're ready for the installation. But for now, this is where you are going to want a helper. And so lay your ThinkBoard out on the table and start by grabbing a couple inches of the adhesive to expose it. And so I'm going to turn this sideways and have your helper come grab the material and just walk backwards with it as you hold the material in place. Perfect. So you can now size up your material, make sure it's going to fit perfectly. Because this is a 48-inch kidney table, the edges are going to be a little close on this point, that point, and this end point over here. So we're just going to line them up, make sure that this is all going to fit and look nicely. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the soapy water and mist the ThinkBoard. And this is where the premium resurfacing kit is nice, because if you are doing 25 of these, you might want the pump spray bottle that's pressurized, and you can do it much quicker. All right, so next comes the fun part. Have your partner again grab one of the corners with you, and we're going to flip the ThinkBoard. And we're going to hover it over the table in position, making sure that we each have enough material on our sides. We're going to go a little higher. How's your side? I need a little bit more here. And because we wet it with water, you can keep trying over and over until you get it perfect. Which it looks like we got it perfect. And so now the material is almost fully set in place. You can see that the material does start to initially set itself. You'll see some bubbles, but those will go away once we squeegee them into place. And so the next step is a little bit more water. And again, the point of this is just to help the squeegee glide and help everything run smoothly. And so I'm going to do a similar method. So I'm going to come up and come down and wash the edge there, of course. And so not quite the full cross. I'm just going to do overlapping horizontal strokes over to one direction, and then the next. And because it's rounding down here, I'm rounding my stroke a little bit, but for the most part, holding it pretty firm and going horizontal. Again, the reason you don't want to just blindly squeegee is because you end up creating these air pockets here, and while that's not the end of the world, it makes the installation process a little more challenging. And so if something like that does occur, you can simply pick the material up, grab your spray bottle, add a bit more water underneath, and then lay it back down. Cool. And then, depending on how long it takes you to install the first half, the other half might have gotten a little stuck to the table, which is totally normal. It's a very forgiving adhesive. It's a fully removable adhesive. And so you shouldn't have any problem peeling it off and sticking it back down. And you can see I'm missing the table this time. I can also miss the ThinkBoard. Pretty much the same thing. And then coming back, you can also visibly see the line where I finished the squeegee last time. So I'm going to start a few inches to the left of that line and make sure I do this bottom chunk here before continuing on up there. This section is here. All right. So at this point, I might use my knife to go around the edge, but if you're more comfortable, you could use scissors just to get a rough idea of where you're going to be cutting. Feel free to use this scrap on other students' desks or on your walls or covering your chalkboard. But I'm just getting a rough cut here. Just to make trimming with the box cutter easier. The only thing you have to be careful is not to let the scissor get away from you and cut into the material itself. So we're getting close to finished at this point. I am going to now take my knife that's included, make sure the tip is sharp. If it's not, you can break them off pretty easily by opening it up just enough and snapping it off. I'm going to go around the edge one more time with the squeegee just to make sure it's set in place. So find an inconspicuous area along the edge and sink the knife blade in between the rubber and the kidney table itself. And you should be able to pull a little bit of tension on the extra material you've got. That way the material doesn't bunch up too much. And again, I'm going real nice and slow here around the edge. And just like that, one piece, not bad. And so I'm gonna scrap this. I'm gonna grab the cloth from earlier. Gonna wipe it down. And I'm gonna double check that the edges are all secured and down. But doing this removes any of the streaking that came from the squeegee. Sometimes there could be adhesive that comes off the squeegee, gets onto the board. If that happens, a little bit of rubbing alcohol takes it right off. And then one more ring around the edge. And just like that, you got a brand new kidney table. So the last thing we've got two different stickers. This one normally is a laptop sticker or wherever you want it. This is our best cleaning practices sticker. It says cleans best with microfiber cloth, add water if needed, no chemicals needed for cleaning. Rubbing alcohol removes stains, adhesive, residue, Sharpie, or other markings. All whiteboard markers should work, and we like Expo markers the best. And it says you can deep clean the surface every couple months with rubbing alcohol. So if it is getting stained or gross or somebody spills something on it, isopropyl alcohol takes it right off. So feel free to drop one of the stickers down in the corner, whether it's the logo sticker or the best cleaning sticker. And then we also have ThinkBoard branded microfiber cloths. Any cloth will do, but we like our cloths. So just like that, you've got a brand new table. You can also take a quick look to see if there's any bubbles that are still popping up. If so, try to squeegee them out now before the water dries entirely. The material is fully removable, lifetime removable. So at any point you can take it off and it's not going to damage the original surface. But it is strong enough that kids shouldn't pick at it. It's not really going to be a problem and people won't even know that it's a film. It just looks like a brand new whiteboard kidney table. And so yeah, that's what we do. We also do a lot of chalkboard and whiteboard resurfacing. So if you've got whiteboards in your classroom that don't erase anymore, or if you've got chalkboards you want to convert into a whiteboard, our material goes right over them. Same process, squeegee it into place, trim along the edges, and within a couple minutes, just as quickly as I did this table, actually probably quicker, you could have a whiteboard in your classroom as well. So find us online, ThinkBoard, and hopefully we get you a new whiteboard in your classroom pretty soon. Thanks for watching.